Hi everyone, it's Lillian here from Stamper's Niche, coming to you from Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada. And I'm here to show you a new technique with your dies. At least I think it'll be new to some of you. Maybe it'll be a refresher for others. And if you're like me, sometimes if I haven't done it for a while, it's brand new anyway. So let's go down to my desk and see what it is. I've got you up just a smidge higher today because I need to bring my stamp and cut and emboss machine in. That means you get to see a whole bunch more stuff on my desk, doesn't it? Oh well, we will make it work and adjust the lights a little bit, and there we go. And I'm also now going to just make sure I am on the computer, so we'll get that set up. Oh my goodness, I hit something twice. Do you ever do that? Not being patient enough and hit it more than once, and then lo and behold, you've done something really weird. All right, so welcome. First off, I just wanted to share in 3D what was in the 12 Days of Christmas this week. So if you get my newsletter, I've been on Wednesday sending out the 12 Days of Christmas, and this is something that can hang on the tree and holds a fair amount of treats. It's made with 6x6 paper, so you can either use 6x6 paper or cut 12x12 down. It looks really cute. You've got a little tree trunk, and there you go. So you can make it in any colors. I think I could end up making a whole forest of these. I don't know about you, but lots of fun. Also, I just wanted, let me get rid of those. I wanted to also mention that I am getting ready to order the new catalogs. So there is coming in January 5th to be exact, the new Celebration, the most fabulous time of year in Stampin' Up! World catalog, and the new mini catalog, which will go from January to June. That's January 5th till June. So if these are full of fabulous, fabulous things, so if you are wanting a copy and you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, or I'm your Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, please let me know and I will make sure to get a copy for you. If you could also let me know if you can pick it up or if you need it mailed, that would be helpful as well. So I see Donna's with us already, so hello Donna, welcome. Lots of good things happening today, so let's just see. First off, as you know, this week I am featuring the Cherish the Season bundle. So it's got this great stamp set here and a great set of dies. So let me just show you that. So here's the stamp set. I know we get glare, but you'll get the idea. It's even got a to and from, which makes it great for tags as well. Great, I like the fonts and I love the images. So when you cut them out, these two have an outline die. So let me just bring this in. The outline die, whoops, looks like that. So that would, you can stamp and cut them out. And then there are other dies that just cut out. So they also emboss. So I don't know if you can see, they look really neat and they come in 4 sizes. These are actually the pieces that fell out of here, but there's lots you could do with those little holly pieces. And then these here, you can actually build them up. They actually match the little bands on the bells so that you could build them up with a different color or just add the dimension if you wanted. And then some great fir boughs. So that's what's in the bundle. Let's just move that to the side here. There is one other stamp set in the mini catalog that really goes well with this one. I don't have it, but one of my downline, Lynn, pointed out right away that this stamp set here goes with it perfectly. I don't know what your Christmas movie watching preference is. Hi, Sue. But every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. Can you tell me what Christmas movie that's from? I think that would work perfectly with this stamp set. So just a pointing that out. So now I am going to make a card with you. I started off, remember I made this card with you on Monday. I decided I was going to use the same layout, but turn it this way. All right, so it's the same layout as Monday's card, but the orientation is changing. And let me just bring in the pieces that I started with. I won't say this is how it ended up. I started with a card base in Seaside Spray, and then the next layer, 1/4 of an inch smaller in Seaside Spray. Then I brought in some metallic foil. Now I keep my scrap metallic foil in a see-through bag, either a sleeve or a bag. And when I went to get my foil out of here, I looked and I saw that I had, because I saved all bits, everything of these, I had some circles, which I'm going to use in a minute, but I had these cut out, left over from another class. So then I thought, I wonder what it would look like if I put silver in between. So I just sort of held it up to see and decided that I really liked that. So I cut this piece down. I'm not going to show it to you just yet because that will be the sneak peek. But I cut it down, added this, and then used the stitched rectangle dies for this. So there's your basic layout. So you can see how it's the same layout, just turned. So let me just show you what we are going to do. We are going to bring back those dies, these dies here, and we're going to bring in the Seaside Spray cut down just a little bit, another 1/4 of an inch. And then we're going to also bring in the Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. I'm just going to slide this out of the way for now and bring in the machine. And we don't need layer 2, we only need 1 and the 2 3s. Well, one of the 3s, pardon me. So what you're going to do here is you're actually going to use your silicone craft mat. So we'll put this down here like that. And then, I don't know if you can see because I've done some, but you see how this is embossed with bells? And this is how I did it. I put the silicone craft mat down. Now there is in the catalog, if you look in the Big Shot section, there is a mat for this, but it's not available yet. But this is a make-do. We can use the silicone craft mat. And then I'm just bringing in my dies and laying them down. And I think I'll put this one here. Oh, and this one here. Maybe like that for right now. I do want to make sure they're on the mat. And then put a layer 3 on top. So I've got a 1 silicone craft mat, my cardstock, my dies, and a 3. So if you were doing it on the Big Shot, you would use your base and the silicone craft mat. And now it feels like nothing is happening. I forgot. I think I needed 2 3s. It does feel like nothing's happening, but that really felt like nothing was happening. I do need both 3s. Don't need the 2. That's what it is. I didn't read my instructions clearly. So there we go. Let's try that again. So put that over there, and we'll put you there, and how about right there? I don't think I've got them in the same places as before, but it doesn't matter. And let's try it again. You would never know that I practiced this the day before, but my memory is such that, there, that felt better. It still feels like nothing much is happening, but when you take it out, and take these off, you've got gorgeous embossing here. Isn't that neat? Do you like that? I like it. So I'm going to see if I can squeeze one more in here because it looks a little naked right there. And actually I don't need to because that's going to be covered over with what I'm doing. So let's take the big shot away here. Big shot, Stamp and Cut and Emboss machine. And let's bring our mat in so that I don't make a mess. Mind you, you can't hurt this desk. It's got so much paint and stuff on it that won't come off. Now let's start to build our card. So I'm going to put this down first. No one's going to know that that is missing in the middle. So I'll put that down. Like that. Because we know from building the other card that this card comes together very, very quickly. But I did want to show you that, and then I also wanted to show you just another way to use the Cherish the Season bundle. So this is going to now be layered on top of here. You could put it on dimensionals if you wanted, but I'm just going to use adhesive. I'm going to put a different layer on dimensionals. I have not made this card completely. I sort of came up with the plan. Oh, I didn't mean to use liquid glue on foil. Let's hope it all cooperates. And my computer just went to sleep. Let's get it back up. There we go. I'm going to turn it over and give it a really good burnish. There, so we've got those layers there. Now I'm going to put this here, like that. So just like the other card, I find it sometimes easier if I turn it on its side, especially when I've got the camera where my head would go. So now all we have to do is this. So I do have a plan for this. One is I wanted to stamp Merry Christmas here. Now the Merry Christmas from that stamp set was too long. So I went looking and brought in one of my favorite stamp sets this Christmas for Unto Us. And the Merry Christmas from here, this one here, fits in beautifully. So I chose to do that. And then I had to decide, was I going to stamp it in Seaside Spray or Misty Moonlight? Which do you think? Seaside Spray for the stamping or Misty Moonlight? And while you're giving me that feedback, I am going to cut out one more bell. But this time I'm going to do the regular cutting, so I'll bring in the two, take the silicone mat away, and where did my scrap go? There it is. Some more scraps from my little bin, and I want the big bell. I've cut everything else out. You didn't need to, but I wanted to show you one thing to do with this. So let's make sure our layers are straight. And I see Sue is saying Misty Moonlight and Sheila's saying Seaside Spray. It's a tie. So in other words, it can go either way. Anybody else going to weigh in on that? There, I'm going to keep it all on here for a minute. And I'm just waiting for more people to weigh in. And Donna, do you want to weigh in? Now this die, where is another example? This die actually cuts these out, as you saw in my 12 weeks of Christmas. For this card, I've decided I want to keep those in. So when I take this off, I'm going to try to keep them together. I can get rid of the garbage. Now, if they fell out, they actually go back in really easily, but just because I want to keep them together, and this is working just like it is supposed to. I'll bring this in so you can see better. I'm going to bring some tear and tape. You could use Scotch tape or whatever, and just run it across and hold them in place so they don't fall out. There are little holly berries there. There's the holly itself. And I'll do one more piece here because there's a whole bunch of little pieces here. So that's another way. Whoops, I see one berry there that could fall out. So that was likely overkill, but you get the idea. So, pardon me. So we'll just pop that bell out. So that's the way to keep it solid and just looking embossed. So that's another little trick with that. Okay, I think Misty Moonlight won, but obviously you can tell that it really wouldn't matter here. You can go either way. It's whatever your preference. But let's go with the stamping. Now I want to keep my stamping low because my plan is to put the bells up here. So, and by the way, this is a little trick you can do if you're not sure, is to stamp colors on scrap paper and then hold them up to your project, and then you can make a decision that way. Trying to get this straight. Okay, keeping this nice and low on my piece of paper here. There we go. And close this up. Now, beforehand, I die cut another bell. And I did the same trick on the back of this one and some of these little branches. So my thinking is that I would put these together on here like that. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this on dimensionals and put it on the card and start to build right on the card. Oh, you can see that I use this paper for something else on this side. You just never know what's on the back of some paper, right? And there we go. And now I could, no, I'm not going to play around. Stick with the plan, Lillian. Only, the reason I was starting to think that is I think I've got it crooked, but oh well. There we go. So now I have my two bells that I would like to put about here. So I'm going to put this bell on dimensionals. And let's see, maybe about like that. And then this bell is just going to stick down. So it's going to be dimensionaled over on this very far side. I maybe should have used a mini. Let me see if that's going to work. Yeah, it's going to work. And I can use a glue dot here. Now the reason I'm doing the two levels is because this part is already on dimensionals, right? So there we go. It helps if I take the backing off, of course. So we've got that far. I'm going to bring in some of the Seaside Spray ribbon. It's got a lovely shimmer to it. So I'm just going to tie a bow here. Tying a bow on camera, that's always a test, right? Okay, let's start again. I always have to remember I'm just tying my shoes, and if I take the pressure off and kind of put it in perspective, then it's no problem. And then you just sort of tell it who's boss anyway. There we go. So we've got this and this. Bring in my ribbon scissors, give it a snip. There we go. And that's going to go on here. Just before I stick it down though, I'm going to see what my plan might be with these little guys. So if I put, I'm just going to lay them down first off, and see, they can tuck under. So if I do, let me see, if I do like that and put this on, what do you think? Is that going to look good? I think it'll look fine. So now I'm going to use glue dots just to make it easy. So 1, 2, 3. So, of course, do you ever find that you like your arrangement, then you take it apart to add the glue, and then you can't really get it back in the right position again? I do want these to be just free and easy up there. And sure, that'll work. And then if I put this on with glue dots again, oh, and I forgot to show you one other thing, but I'll show you on a different card. And there's that card. I can add some sparkly things if I want or whatever, but there is your basic card. It's using the same layout as this. Woo! Okay, there we go. The same layout as this, just turned sideways, but the plus is that I used, and you can use your dies. So your dies with your silicone craft mat and the 2 cutting plates and the platform. No extra little things there. So let me show you some more projects with this. So I was inspired to make this card by this. Again, the embossing here and here. I don't know if you can tell, but Wink of Stella on some of these. So let me see if I can manage that. I should have done it before I put the this on, but I forgot. But there's always a way, right? Wink of Stella. You can never have too much of Wink of Stella. So right now it's wet, but it's going to dry. I'm just putting it where the holly is. There. We'll let that dry and look at it in a minute. So here is another card doing the same thing using the twine here, and it's much the same idea. So other projects, I showed you this one. This one was in one of the 12 weeks of Christmas, so it could hang on a tree or whatever. It could also be a gift card holder. So there's another idea. If you're looking for ideas for gifts, I do sell gift cards, so just something to remember. Now some of these you have seen, some of you have not. This one I posted the other day, so it's using the hoop here. This one you saw when I did the Facebook Live. I really like how that turned out. Here's another one. So it's just a rectangle of paper with designer paper to make it look like a parcel, and then some bows tied on. And here's another one where the bells are actually colored. And this one here, I just love this. This is actually a gift card holder. And so I don't know if you can see, but I colored the linen thread with my blends. You could likely use your markers too if you had that. And then when you pull up, the ribbon is wrapped around your gift card like that. So it just, and so are the bells. But when you put it back in, it just is like that. So if you're interested in learning how to make, there's a little pocket here, to make these 3 in particular, and maybe a couple of more, I am advertising a Cherish the Season bundle online class. I will not be cutting anything. You will have to have your own stamp set and dies, so you'll have to have your own bundle. But when I teach the class, I'll provide all cutting instructions, and it will work with any paper you have, paper, ribbon, whatever you have on hand. So it's not contingent on using certain paper, but you do need to have the bundle. So for $15, I'll give you all the cutting instructions. I will do a video as to how to make it. So just something to consider, but you do need to register by Saturday for that. So just a couple of things. If you want that, register by Saturday. If you want the gorgeous new catalogs, I am going to be ordering them, and I need you to let me know if you're interested. So message me, or I will actually do a post here and give a link that you can fill in. Message me that you want them and that you don't have another demonstrator, of course. And if you need it mailed to you, let me know that as well, please. And I think that's it. So does that give you some ideas on how to maybe use your dies in yet another way? I love getting more and more uses out of one product. So thank you so much. Take care, and bye-bye.